Imagine you're running your annual HOA meeting and a group of frustrated residents stands up, tries to remove the board on the spot, and then walks out and holds their own official meeting in the park down the street. Could that actually work? According to a recent Michigan court decision, absolutely not. But here's the thing, most boards don't know why. Let's start with something a lot of boards get wrong. They assume meetings just run on common sense and goodwill. If people are orderly, everything goes fine. But when a meeting gets contentious, and it will eventually, the rules that govern who controls the room, who gets recognized to speak, and who can actually make a motion become critically important. Michigan's Nonprofit Corporation Act governs most HOAs and condo associations in this state. And under that law, the person running the meeting has more authority than most members realize. The chair controls recognition, controls the order of business, and in certain circumstances can adjourn that meeting outright. A Michigan Court of Appeals case decided in late 2025 made this very clear. A group of members tried to remove the board, hold a separate meeting, and install a new leadership team. The court said that has no legal effect. Not because they were wrong to be upset, but because they didn't follow the proper procedures. Here's where it gets complicated for boards, because the rules that govern your meetings aren't just in one place. Your governing documents, your bylaws specifically, may reference Robert's Rules of Order, or they may be silent on parliamentary procedure entirely. The Michigan Nonprofit Corporation Act fills in certain gaps. And Robert's Rules of Order, if adopted, adds another layer on top of that. The problem? Most boards have never actually read through their bylaws with this question in mind. What does our governing document say about how meetings are run? In the court case I mentioned, one of the arguments made by the challenging group was that Robert's rules required the president to recognize a member who wanted to speak. The court looked at that claim carefully and found that neither the bylaws nor the Nonprofit Corporation Act nor Robert's rules actually required that. The president had the authority to run the meeting as he saw it within the bounds of the governing documents. That's a nuanced conclusion, and it's the kind of thing that a board member reading their bylaws on their own might get completely wrong. Now here's why this matters beyond just one contentious meeting. When a board doesn't understand these rules, two bad things can happen. First, the board acts improperly, maybe shutting down legitimate member participation in ways the bylaws don't actually allow. And that opens the door to legal challenges. Or second, and more commonly, the board doesn't act firmly enough when a small group of members tries to hijack the process. They let votes happen that shouldn't. They let motions be made outside of proper procedure, and suddenly the association is in a legal dispute over who's actually in charge. Either outcome is expensive, either outcome is disruptive, and either outcome could have been avoided with a clear understanding of how your specific governing documents interact with state law and parliamentary procedure. This is one of those areas where what you don't know can absolutely hurt you, and hurt your association financially. If your association hasn't reviewed how your bylaws address meeting procedure, or if you've experienced contentious meetings and aren't sure whether these things were handled correctly, that's a conversation worth having before your next meeting, not during it. At ManageMax, we help boards understand their governing documents and run meetings with confidence. At ManageMax, we know that effective community management is built on transparency and systematic excellence. We provide full-service HOA and condominium management across Southeast Michigan, handling everything from accurate financial reporting to proactive maintenance. Our goal is to reduce the burden on your board while protecting your property values. If you're looking for a partner who values accountability as much as you do, visit us at managemaxproperties.com. Let's build a stronger community together.